What it do? Thank you for tuning in for another midweek tap in with y'all. Your host, King Crowder, man. Thanking you. I know you could be anywhere in the known universe, but you chose to be here and tap in with your boy. If you're new here, I go by the name King Crowder. I do commentary. I love talking about FBA business because I'm passionate about where we come from, what we represent, and most importantly, speaking on foundational issues. Share the live, comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Today's title will be Non-FBAs are mad at the delineation movement they created, right? But FBA owes no one an apology. Do you know why we don't owe anyone an apology, y'all? Because we got to understand something. The disrespect has not just been on our end. The disrespect has been known all the while. So for today's topic, I want to start off with something very clear and very early on. The first thing we got to recognize is that, man, Ghana is being disrespectful. If you haven't tapped in, you haven't heard the news, I want you to see how they are trying to take the forefront to speak on Black Americans' issues. Shout out to Buck, baby. Black Americans' issues when it talks about our reparations program and why it's a big deal. And I want you to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Let's tap in and take a listen right quick, y'all. Happening today.
Obvious legal problems. This resolution is also unclear as to who the recipients of reparatory justice would be. The drafters and supporters of this resolution seem to believe it is them. The United States strongly objects to the cynical usage of historical wrongs as a leverage point in an attempt to reallocate modern resources to people and nations who are.
Did you catch that, ladies and gentlemen? What is being advertised right now as we speak is that Ghana is trying to attempt to reshape the history. They are trying to get in on the forefront by saying, hey, Black Americans, we know that y'all were done wrong. We know there has been an issue. We realize there has been pain and suffering, etc., etc., etc. But give us the reparations. We know you guys don't know how to handle it. Allow us to handle it. Allow us to navigate it. Allow us to speak for you because we have your best interests at heart. I want y'all to think about this for a second. You are not only an active participant in the transatlantic slave trade. Now you want to get paid on the back end? You profited. You were appreciative. You sold. You had taxes. You were appreciative. And now you want to be the first one to jump out the window by saying, we believe we can speak on y'all behalf. Y'all don't even understand how much more disrespectful, man, it's starting to become. We are trying to build our own momentum. We are trying to develop our own legacy, our own energy. And at every single turn, y'all, people show you the disdain they have for us. You know, the one thing that we got to be cognizant of FBAs moving forward, we ain't got to feel no type of way. No, we don't. We don't. What we have to do is we have to, acknowledge this is how they truly feel. And when they show us that they truly feel this way, we got to move accordingly. There's no point in getting mad. There is no point in getting upset. There is no point in stewing on it or none of that. What that we have to focus on moving forward, y'all, is that no one is going to have our back. They want to profit from what we're going through. They want to get the benefits and reap the rewards on what we're dealing with. But you want to insult the people that you threw into the yonder. And the one thing that bothers me the most, ladies and gentlemen, is that you know that we have made this energy, this lineage, this conversation hot. Why do you think that you have to be the one to speak on it? It's nothing worse than having a family member that you don't rock with like that. Y'all know what I'm saying, right? The family member and you know y'all don't rock with each other. The family member and you know y'all not on the best of terms. But then you want to go up and speak for me publicly? You want to tell everybody that on the behalf of Black Americans, we want to be the one to initiate the conversation. And a white man, a saltine, all the words we like to joke about, had to be the one to drop down the nail on the hammer, had to be the one to stand on business, had to be the one to let it know that it was not cool how you are choosing to go about this. And the president got up and spoke again. The president of Ghana went up there and made a long-winded soliloquy. I like to bring y'all this information in total context because I want you to understand the historical narrative behind it. We already know that we had the FBA reparations movement hot, man. We got it hot. We do. Oh, I got somebody chopping in with me. Shout out to you, Nitro. What's good, baby?
What's up with you, boy?
Talk to me, man. What you got on the subject?
Yo, let me ask you a question, right? Hold on. How do I front? Yeah, front facing. The camera not coming on? Oh, what's up with that?
You good?
All right, I'm good. All right. Let me ask you a question, right? I see them trying to do their little thing, like trying to get an apology from the United States and doing this and that. So, man, my man was talking about this. Y'all opening up a bag. Do y'all really want to open this bag up? Because what if these YT people, they pop out like, you know what? All right, cool. We're going to admit to our part, right? But first, admit y'all sold them to us. Y'all admit that y'all sold them to us, and then we'll do that. Because what's going to happen is we're going to cut them they check, right? And then they going to come after y'all. Y'all going to have to cut them they check for selling them. I'm like, y'all really playing this game like y'all ain't do nothing wrong. I'm really wondering, like, are y'all not thinking about this? We
You know what's more disrespectful to me, brother, at the whole thing? You ain't even make it right with us yet. You know what I mean? Like that one cousin, you fought in my house. Yeah. You ain't even call me and say, cuz I was wrong. But you want to jump out and reap a benefit from it? That's the worst type of person. You feel what I'm saying?
My thing is, you trying to come outside in the streets and trying to get the streets right, and your house ain't even straight. You still got kind of some slavery going on the continent. Then y'all just had a whole crazy festival doing some. Hey man, I don't know why y'all even outside talking to folks right now. Because you really making us put the camera on y'all. Like, hold up. What are you talking about? Y'all just got finished having a festival where y'all allegedly was raping women, grabbing them and groping them, and ain't not one man out there go out there and start checking folks. But then oh man, I wish you had the video. There's a lady that actually, where there was a guy that did an interview. He's trying to, the lady was like, so that's a penalty? Y'all were giving women a penalty for being outside at a certain time? This guy said, well, we gave out warnings. Wait, he said it not once, a couple times. It's like, yo, do you hear what you just said? You gave out warnings about a grape that possibly could happen to you. We gave out, and he said it multiple times. And the lady who got, she got upset. Like, are you serious right now? Is that what you got to say? I'm like, I don't know who sent you up here on this little, I guess the African news thing to talk. I don't know who sent you up here, but they shouldn't have sent you up here. I know, but man, y'all trying to do a whole lot outside, and y'all talking to us like we really want to talk to y'all. Y'all don't represent us. We don't really want to talk to y'all, and y'all asking for us to come out on the streets. Y'all gonna make us come outside for the wrong reason. Y'all think we won't get active, and we will get active.
Well, I think that's the one phase we at right now, man, because we have to vocally. We already doing it, but the disrespect is so loud, man. Like you said,
you're right, brother.
We are focused internally, and I got a quote. I'm quoting, brother. We in the love era, man. Delineation is loving ourselves, loving our purpose, talking about what we got to fix, and y'all coming over here worried about what we are fixing. Like you said, staying home and keeping your house right, man.
You said we in the love. Let me tell you how.
Give me my credit now. Give me my credit.
I give it to you. Look, when you said that, I felt that, but then it also reminds me back to, bro, it's so many dope ass women out here with the right knowledge out here putting it down. When you got like BK, Brooklyn, you got a whole bunch of women out here that they are smart as hell, and they dropping the knowledge on these tethers, and they giving you the right. Yo, I think that some of these women, I'm gonna say one name. Her name is Wani Spots.
She on point. I know who
She
Wani is. I'm
needs to be
familiar.
protected at all
Yes.
costs. She needs security. Wani, if you ever in the 215, get at your boy. You will need to
Shout
be
out.
protected at all costs. Her wealth of knowledge is, man. But a lot of these women out here, they holding it down, brother. When you said listen, I be excited when the women out here cooking now. Now I get to fall back, and now I'm chilling. Like, yeah, go ahead. Because when you got a pocket, now let me do something now. Don't ever talk like that.
I agree, brother. I
That's
agree.
why
Why
I love it, man. I give Black Alpha his respect. He don't let nobody come on his
Absolutely.
panel talk crazy to none of his women. He don't be having it at all. So I'm with him in the revolution and the certified, baby. I'm part of the certified. Man, listen, that's how I'm carrying it. I love it.
I
I like it.
love it.
Hey, man, would you say the love era? I like it. I
The
like that,
love air, man. Hey, I've been telling that. It's me. Hey, I've been preaching because
bro.
delineation. They try to pivot it like it's negative. I'm like, nah, we in the love ourselves, love each
Facts,
other.
man. I just want to come
That's
up
what we
here and
want.
show you some motherfucking love
I
because I'm gonna
appreciate
go
you,
do
bro.
my thing. I'm like, yo, he live right now. Let me go holler at him real quick because I'm gonna still be peeping you though. I'm gonna have
I
you locked
appreciate
in.
you, brother.
But
Thank
yo,
you,
I
man.
got you locked in. I appreciate you though, dog. You
Always,
definitely be
brother.
holding it down and you definitely be keeping it a buck. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank
B1.
you too, man. B1. All right, man. Shout out to the brother, man. Shout out to him. Man, as we gonna continue to cook, man, as the brother presented in our earlier platform, let's continue to talk about and go into a detailed conversation on how this information is out of pocket. Let's listen.
With the power that words hold to shape consciousness and to shift perspectives to propel an action or other, I therefore offer this truth as a starting point. There's no such thing as a slave.
What? See, when people say stuff like that and you go out not being disingenuous, man, when you go out telling half truths, we were formerly enslaved. There is nothing wrong. We don't run away from our legacy. We don't shy away from it. We do not go against it, man. We lean into it and we love it. But for you to ever say that did not happen to us is disrespectful to where we come from, man. And I'm from the pavement. I love our legacy. I love our story. I love our energy. We're not going to get out here and tell disingenuous lies, brother. No, we were.
There were human beings who were trafficked and then enslaved by people who believed.
Yes, formerly enslaved, sold into slavery by the countries in Africa that they came from. If I'm going to tell it, I'm going to tell it all, baby. Let's not go ahead and sugarcoat us. Let's not keep it 1,000. Let's tell the truth what we see. And there's nothing wrong with being honest about that.
They could own those human beings as chattels, as their personal property. Some will hear this and think I'm splitting hairs. Isn't that the same thing, they might ask? No, it's not. Not at all the same thing. Not if you acknowledge an individual's humanity. Not if you respect an individual's basic right to dignity. The entire transatlantic slave trade was designed to deny African people their humanity.
You know, the one thing that I get what he's trying to set the platform on. I get the historical context he's trying to do, but this would all hit and mean more if this conversation was had with the foundation first. If this conversation was had with us, if you would admit this with us speaking to foundation, just like you do on networks and other ways, it would hit different. But you're going to the UN around people that don't represent us, that do not have our best interests, that do not see it from our point of view, and you up here preying. Shout out to my dog, man. Shout out to him. But when I hear that type of stuff, man, it's disingenuous. For real.
And that denial was premised on a racial hierarchy with no basis in fact or science, a racial hierarchy that deemed whiteness superior and blackness inferior. The atrocities that were committed against enslaved Africans, the myriads of injustice that were born of slavery and carried forward into successive social framework, took place specifically because those persons were considered objects, not human.
And you know what? One thing that's very eerie to me, y'all. Why is this conversation being had now? Not 40 years ago, not during the civil rights movement, not when racial apartheid and Jim Crow was at its all-time high. Why is it happening now? That's the question we got to ask, that we got to mention, that we got to talk about. Why is it happening right now? You feel what I'm saying? Is it because you can benefit? Is it because the word reparation, which means a form of restoration, economic reparation, is at hand and restoration is at hand? Are you doing it for the love? Are you doing it because he's a major moral motion? Facts. Because we do got the motion, and man, Nitro is not lying at all. So why are you doing this for? Like I said, this whole conversation, and you're not even addressing that there has been an ethnogenesis, that there has been a turn of events, that there has been a essence mental change in how we view and do things now.
Human beings. So when discussing slavery and its resulting institutions and practices, we must always start by reclaiming racial equality, the dignity of Africans, the humanity of our ancestors who were enslaved, and as a matter of course, our own humanity. Recently, someone asked me to explain the importance of the resolution on the declaration of the trafficking of enslaved Africans and racial.
We do not clarify, quantify, label, or associate with continental Africans anymore, because throughout my lifetime, and many of our followers' lifetime, we have been told to our face, you are not African. You are not a part of my tribe. You do not represent us. Now, the energy has been of acceptance on the foundation's end. We've accepted it, we've acknowledged it, we've respected it, and we've moved accordingly. The horses are out the barn. The dog is out the cage. There is no bringing it back, dog. The toothpaste is out the tube. All of this, what you want to label us now, is done. Leadership has heard what the foundation is saying. The grassroots medias, the pioneers and what we have already stated, man. So for you to get up on a UN form and now have the first, I want you to pay attention to the first word you see. This ain't King Crowder talking, y'all. What's the first word you see? The first word I see is reparations. Reparatory justice for the traffic of enslaved Africans. Pay attention. The first word is the key. There has to be some type of money, resources, or an exchange of hands that they want to see happen. He has to read from a script. Every leader's talk from the heart. Oh, man, my dog is cooking. He is absolutely right, man. So when we speak about the passion of our crimes and what we have been through, what we go through, that is genuinely what our lineage is attest to. So I want to say this, if he doesn't know this, man. Pan-Africans, non-FBAs, we do not need y'all to speak for us. We need for you to focus on getting what you need to change first. And once that change happens internally with you guys, then you come back and talk to me. Right now, we are not aligned. And that's okay. We don't feel no type of way. We're not angry. We're not upset. We're not mad. But we acknowledge where we are. Stop trying to tell us that we don't acknowledge what the energy is. Now that we have set the tone for what the energy is, now that we acknowledge where we are on the pecking order, what the energy is on y'all side, can we move along? Can we move past this? There is no beef. We're just saying, hey, we respect what you got going on. Now respect what we got going on. Don't crowbar in. Don't slither your way in the front. Don't try to skip the line. Do not do nothing that you have to do to get in what our action is. Focus on your issues. After you focus on your issues, after you make an attempt to restorative justice, then And only then we will be willing to have the conversation. Ghana, you do not represent us. None of these formerly African nations represent us, our claim, our policies, our politics, our vision, or what we have going on. Respectfully, step to the side. Respectfully, focus on yourself first. Respectfully, leave us alone. Next up, man. This next subject I want to say is sensitive, y'all. I'm not gonna show the video or the content, but I believe, like my brother said earlier, that we gotta talk about it. The reason why we gotta talk about this next subject is about Ozu Festival in the Delta State of Nigeria. You know the reason why I want to talk about this so much, y'all? It was a festival where they were doing essay to little girls, young ladies. Speaking about this for journalistic purposes only, y'all. Journalistic and commentary only. There was a Ozu Fest that were young men were targeting and doing horrendous things. You know the reason why I want to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that every time I see a Pan-African on the show, every time I hear a Pan-African have a conversation, every time I hear them speak for us, they never speak for the problems or issues that they have going on. They always use general statements. They always try to bash. They always try to move the goalposts. For example, I reside in Houston, Texas. Shout out to the H. When the black kids were here on spring break, we saw the Shade Room. We saw all the publications. We saw all the non-FBAs. We saw everybody attacking our babies. And when young black children are being targeted, attacked, shamed, have disrespectful dialogue or discourse, they don't know how to handle themselves. They can't go anywhere. Why are they in my city? Why are they wearing a dress out in the middle of nowhere? Why do they go anywhere not to have fun? All of these words are disparaging towards foundational Black American children. Why do I want you to pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen? Because there are actually children in the world of their descent in many of these African nations who do the horrific things they place on our babies. And when these horrific things are caught on camera, make news, discussed about, none of the Pan-Africans speak on it. None of the non-FBAs acknowledge it. Nobody wants to have that conversation. Nobody says, yo, the way we label black kids, we don't never label them other kids that way. The way we talk about the foundation teenagers, we never talk about the other kids that way. We have these other kids on tape, literally grabbing, kicking, biting, fighting, attacking, and doing horrendous things. And just like our teenagers do not get the benefit of the doubt, why do we not have that same energy? Why is it that our children get labeled aggressive, toxic, uncouth, no decorum, ratchet, ghetto? You know the words, y'all. Y'all know the words, the sayings, the slang they place on black children. You know the reason why I like to point these things out, ladies and gentlemen? People have so much contempt for you, they will even target your babies. If you don't believe me, the great Neely Fuller wrote, black children are the only children that get demonized from birth. After the age of 8 years old, shout out to my FBA sisters, if you have a young man after the age of 8, he's no longer a child. They will call him a young man. They will label him aggressive. They will label him opinionated. If you have a young lady and she has a little bit of presence on her, they will label her names. The way we normally talk in conversation, right? This is something I do with our babies all the time. Our level of 7 in conversation, the way we talk, is Other Ethnicities, Volume 12. So the way we talk to each other is normal. We could chop it up, we could laugh, we could be rambunctious, we could be loud. But if I go around other students, classmates, or peers, they'll think we're arguing. And that is hard for a lot of our children to comprehend because many of us are not taught about the subtle signs of racial dynamics. We teach them go to school. We teach them have fun. We teach them to be fresh. We teach them to look good, but we don't teach them the subtle signs of racism they're going to experience. And what we see all the time, and I like to use the example of Houston because it was very apparent that it was so many slurs, talking points, thoughts about our young ladies and young men. I want to point something out to you. Since when do 20-year-olds not smoke? Since when do young adults not drink? Since when are young adults really responsible? So when are young adults really professional? Since when do young adults spend their money wisely? When do they make good decisions? When do any other ethnicities en masse do that on a regular basis? None of them do. So why is that burden, that expectation, that desire placed on our children? You have to understand it's a sign of contempt. Because when we see it happen in other areas and they don't mention it, they are telling you they don't like you. And FBAs, especially our ladies, I want you to take heed to that. I want you to watch it. I want you to listen. And I want you to respond accordingly. I'm not saying I agree with how the Ozoro Festival said. I'm not saying I understand why it happened in real time, but I gave it 7 days. I didn't hear one Pan-Africanist. I haven't heard one tether. I haven't heard no FBAs publicly speak out about how this action was horrendous. And you know why? Because the only bad apples are us. We are inherently bad. We are inherently deserve criticism. Others have that desire and that ability to grow up and make change. And that's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. So pay attention to how they talk about our baby. Deliberately egregious, man. Outstanding, brother. Deplorable. African, please. Hey, said nothing, brother. Facts. You know I'm about to talk about Buddy yet? You know I am. You know I'm about to cook it on him, man, for sure. Next, man. And Buddy took the steam right out of my mouth, man. Shout out to my dog. If you are new, follow my guy, man. Nitro, to follow him on all his platforms. He is cooking, man. I love the brother's energy, his spirit. I support all black men. But you know, what he pointed out, man, was something that we got to show y'all. And your boy is back, man. 2 parts I want to speak to: black man, fatherhood. As a new expecting father, y'all, shout out to the crowd again. Y'all know another damn Crowder is on the way. A girl this time, your boy, almost 3 kids deep now. But what I want to speak to on this video is that when we speak about the absent fathers in our community, I always want you to pay attention to who these gentlemen are. I know this is going to be controversial, but it's true. A lot of the times, they are the non-FBAs. A lot of the times, that term black is thrown on us when many of them from not our lineage are doing that fugazi stuff. And I want to show this video of Dr. Umar talking about fatherhood with his daughter.
Your daughter.
Yes.
Lisa. So that unfolded online.
Yes.
Right.
I was in Sweden, and I'm in Sweden.
I'm
getting ready to speak. Last year, a year now.
Okay, yeah. Give
A
it
year
the background.
last week.
Yes.
And my daughter goes live, and she says, "I'm looking for my dad,
Yeah.
and I want to have a conversation with my dad.
Mhm.
He's never been in my life,
Mhm.
and I just want to know why." And I'm sitting there watching her in Sweden, envy, and I'm saying, "Look at my beautiful daughter, lying like the gospel."
You know, the one thing that children really don't do when they have an absentee father, ladies and gentlemen, is that their opinion and they being a child, you got to listen to them. I'm not saying that you didn't make an effort, brother. I'm not saying it wasn't difficult, but to know that your daughter was in a space where she said she wanted to talk to you and your first reaction is to go on live TV and say she was lying, not discover, not find out, not ask conversation, not ask questions, but it's to insult her, man. You went on a syndicated podcast and spoke about your daughter in a disparaging way. I'm from the foundation, y'all. I'm not saying that we're always right. I'm not saying that parents are always right. My father and my parents have done many wrongs, but publicly, I wouldn't speak about it. My brothers, my sisters, my cousins, we've had falling outs, but publicly, I wouldn't speak about it. There's a code that we have with each other. Before I get on here and say something, I'm going to call you, bro. That is how we are built. Many FBAs are meant to call you. If I got a squabble, a problem, an issue, I'm going to call you first. If you choose not to engage, that's on you, bro. But if I know my daughter was fighting and had an issue, as her father, you got to figure that out.
First of all, we've been in contact throughout her life by phone. And every time
Did he say we've been in contact by phone, bro? Children don't care about money. They care about time, bro. Children love you with time. Children will have a love affair you by the time you give them. That's it. I'm not saying that iPhone cannot be a serviceable way, but to say that was the only way that you could be a father, knowing that you had the money, the means, the wherewithal, and that's what you said, it's crazy.
try to get to see my daughter, she never shows up. Why? Because her mother raised her to not like me. And the reason her mother raised her to not like me is her mother told me to my face, God is my witness and my ancestors are in the room. If you do not marry me, it will be both of us or neither one of us. She told me I would not be in my daughter's life.
The biggest question I have from Dr. Umar for saying that is that as a man, who you choose to have mate selection with, I'm speaking to myself, as a young man is different than as you age. You had, a slip up, whatever happened with the mother, you didn't want to be with her. I get it. I'm not judging that part. But when a child is born and the mother does not want to go with the court orders, it is up to you to press that initiative. 5 brothers, 5 court orders, every one of us fought to have and be the rights that we got to figure it out. I know it's not the optimal way. I'm not saying that. But when she does not want to meet with the agreements, when she does not want to oblige and go by that, there is ramifications when you press the issue. You have to spend the bread. You have to be willing, and you have to make sure that she has to follow that court order. To say that it could not happen is disingenuous, brother. If you couldn't because your lifestyle you was living, I respect that. But to outwardly say it couldn't happen because there was so many barriers in your way, you are lying. We know it. You know it. Everybody know it, bro. You fam. Hey, facts. I mean, it's just we just move different, man. And like I said, as he continued to talk, you'll understand that.
I took her to court. I got all the paperwork, a file like this, contempt of court orders, because I was in my daughter's life up until about 5, 6, 7. That's when the mom stepped it up, right? I guess she found a man. You know how that go. They don't want you around when a man around because he might feel insecure, so they keep got your kid's life just to please the man. Whatever the case may be. And the court would never arrest her. They would never find her. I remember one day the judge said, y'all got the biggest file in my court.
And you know what hurts so much to me, y'all? You shame so many other black brothers out here. As a man that got 5 brothers, street ninjas, all life, walks of life, that has been to multiple court cases, multiple hearings, multiple children that I've had to see. You shame brothers for not being able to live up to the part. And the whole time, you ain't living up to it. You the nigga that we be talking about that you shaming. You shaming every other brother when you ain't living right. It's one thing if everything was square, your life was perfect, your energy was on point, your life and momentum was going a certain way. But for you to not be living right, and then you get on here and say your daughter felt some type of way, that put a bad taste in my mouth, bro. Because I've been to 5 or 6 court. I've been to the jails. I've done it, man. And I know how hard it is for brothers to figure it out. I know how difficult, I know how challenging it is. And I know it will never be perfect, and I understand that. But you made it seem like if brothers don't live up to the expectation, if brothers do not have the perfect way, they are bad. Then the energy has to be the same way for you, Dr. Umar. That's the problem the FBAs have with the non-FBA community. Not all, but it's a lot of y'all that play both sides. It's a lot of y'all that be wishy-washy. It's a lot of y'all that do not stand on business. And that's the problem we got, fam. That's the issue. That's the issue. If such a foul big as Law Philly, come on, man. FDMG will open in 2056. Y'all hell. But I'm saying that, man. You shame so many other brothers, man. And I got all foundational Black American fam. Friends, 5 brothers, street ninjas, multiple children, multiple fathers, been to courtrooms, seen how they had to fight with felonies, buried my brothers. Do you know I've seen it? You know I know how it felt? I've been to a courtroom, a judge say, man, child support is $800 and you only making $1,000. I've seen it, man. But the one thing we don't do, we don't have sympathy for brothers going through it. You didn't. You jumped out the window by saying they bad. And when you jumping out the window saying we so bad, you ain't commenting on Ozoro fast. You not. And then you get on another interview. And I know the Breakfast Club fell off, y'all. I know I'm beating a dead horse. I know I'm giving them cut. I know I'm talking about it. But we got to keep up with this information, y'all. We're not doing this so much for them. Remember, it is our job to teach our babies too. Because every time we get older, y'all, Gen Z, if you didn't know, y'all, their oldest Gen Z is 25 now. Update your records. The oldest Gen Alpha is 16 now. Update your records. They may not be able to get over the Gen X, millennials, boomers, but they can get it to Gen Z. They can get to Gen Alpha. It is our job to educate them. It is our job to lace them on game. It is our job to have these conversations. Dr. Umar been raising money since I was in college, y'all. I graduated 2015. My freshman year, he was talking about this program, which was phenomenal at the time. And now he's saying this.
So on Frederick Douglass's birthday, we completed the renovations at FDMG. So we completely done. We just
school is done.
School is done.
Congratulations.
We're just trying to get an inspection now.
You know what I find interesting, Dr. Umar? People would like to say you a scammer, right? And I say Dr. Umar has the school. The school is
I
there.
don't mind the allegations,
I've
but
seen
show
the
proof.
renovations.
I don't.
But the school is there. They can't say you didn't use the money
for 7
to
years.
buy the building, to renovate it.
You know the one thing that's kind of eerie about the Breakfast Club to me, y'all, now that they're on their 10-year run, they've let a lot of disingenuous people come up there. They've let a lot of false things be spread. Don't forget they let Caesar, they envied, all that stuff. So we've already seen that y'all have had questionable credibility. But then for y'all to go up there and say, Umar's school is done. He has the building. He has everything ready. He's a scammer without addressing the direct rumors to it. And to hear him say, where's the proof? Y'all, how can y'all, I mean, I understand y'all not journalists by trade. I get it. But man to man, for real, when an elephant is in the room and we don't dive into it, you complicit. Yo, Umar, you got to talk about this money that we've been raising and what's going on. We got to talk about why has it been a delayed process. We got to talk about the beef, the disingenuous, the conversation, the randomness. Where's the bookkeeping, the falling off of the nonprofit, all of that stuff. It should be discussed. Because if you're going to give this brother a platform, if you're going to give him the biggest boost and the biggest mic, why don't we ask the real questions? Because the problem is now, the Breakfast Club, man, they've been ain't what they once were, right? But to me, it hurts different because of all the black scholars, he gets the biggest microphone. I know why he does the trolling thing. He's actually a great articulate guy. He's a great speaker. He's funny. He's witty, but he's known to be disingenuous. And if we don't put all of that in context, not talking about people like Tariq, not Jason Black, not the great Black Sharp, not Phil Scott, none of our leaders that we see in these spaces, Black Veltron, Professor Black Truth, all the ones that inspired me, man. Those are the ones that deserve great microphone time. Those are the ones that deserve those platforms to speak on things. Those are the ones that we need to champion, not the armpits, not the people with questionable behavior, not the people that do not represent brothers in a positive light. And the reason why I want to make sure I get it, man, that's just a Democrat sick channel. You facts, brother. Facts, you right. And the other brothers on point, man. FD 2056. All of y'all are saying some real stuff, man. But again, when we shout to the mountains, we got to check our files and update our information. Let's keep listening.
And all of that type of stuff. But I have heard people say he'll never get accreditation.
Well, here's the thing. You don't need accreditation to be an independent school. You follow what I'm saying? Accreditation is a voluntary process. On a university level, it's a little bit more mandatory. But for grade schools, your right to operate comes from the State Department of Education. So I can voluntarily go and get some white people and ask them what they think about my black school. But being Dr. Umar Ifatunde, I don't really care about the opinions of anybody outside of my community, so we won't be doing that. So if Charlamagne said, you know what, I don't want to send my...
I got to ask Dr. Umar, is that do you think you will actually have the credibility to pull in black children right now? Do you actually think in the love era, in the energy, in the motion, in the mentality that many FBAs are in, do they want to hear you? I don't want my sons going there. Do you want to represent your nieces, your nephews, your cousins? I'm asking the FBA fan, would you? Knowing the character of a man, who's going to pay for it? Who's going to keep up the upkeep? Who's going to keep the staff, the recruitment levels? All of this stuff that's been happening is chinks in the armor, man. Not saying that you can't do a smaller thing to make it happen. It is possible. I'm never going to say it's impossible. But compared to what you were, brother, to saying what you still expect it to be, what you are now is in a different headspace. Acknowledge it, accept it, and move on. You are not Dr. Umar from 2012. You don't have the credibility. You don't have the love, the stamina, the respect, nor the cultural cachet. You are a ninja that has been lying, that has been doing your thing in other ways. That's just where you at right now. So for me, I know I'm king, I know I ain't nobody on your level yet. I get it. But right now, where you are in your life, brother, I hope it sticks and resonate with you. I hope you take heed to what we're saying. That's it, man. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, what do FBAs need to be worried about? I love this brother right here, Terrain Walker, man. He is a phenomenal author, man. I love his work. Another brother that I follow on Twitter, retweets him all the time. But what's been going on, y'all, is a silent layoff masses for the foundation out there. Foundational Black American men in the past 4 months have been 500,000 jobs have been gone just like that. Many of them have tried to find employment. Many of them have looked for direct labor. Many of them have tried to figure out ways to deal and combat with these issues. You got to understand, when a black man loses his job, I'm telling you, fam, we got to. When a black man loses his job, those children are affected. Child support, motherly support, family support, legacy, confidence, thinking. And with these large amounts of numbers that we see going on right now, where we spend our energy is on what we have to do moving forward. We have to use our energy to focus on how Black Americans have to deal with this type of thing. What we're going to see, what the new energy is, and what the job market is going to look like. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, the job market is changing. We know about the AI, all that crazy stuff that's going on. What does that mean? Small businesses, self-employment, things that we see going on in the future. That more jobs with your hands, more job with direct scales. Remember, soft skills will always win. Money will always win and go in. But you have to know moving forward, the economic landscape is changing. And it's changing because we have had a mass influx of immigration. We have had a mass influx of issues. And we have not had our boule class really looking out for us like they're supposed to. So now that we're here, we ain't gonna make no excuses, y'all. We here. What do? A, we stay the course on our political agendas. B, we have to move differently prior to past generations. What I like to throw out there, I know a lot of brothers don't want to hear sometimes. And ladies, we gotta partner up. We gotta figure it out. I'm not saying roommate, but I'm saying whatever you gotta do to make sure that you good, bro. The economy is different than it was 10 years ago. Moving forward, what the expectation will be, you may have to change your opinion on what you have to do to be stable. Whatever job, whatever field, whatever thing that you must do to make it happen, ego to the side, y'all. Make it happen. If you have to go down to come up, do it. If you have to reshape, reorganize, do it. If you have to open a small business and take a different path, do it. If you have to go to the SBA route, you have to look into grants, businesses, and things you're passionate about, do it. If the task is monotonous, meaning it's a task that you do every day, there is no critical thinking, there is no soft skills, there is no forward-facing customer. If your job entails that, that is where the issue will lie. But if your job, your career path has to do something with business, you will be all right. Remember, soft skills will be the future cachet. Soft skills will always be in demand. The next thing I want you to know is always going to be on demand is this is King Crowder talking. Learn how to sell. Learn how to sell yourself. Learn how to sell your abilities. Learn how to sell your skill set and your trades and what things you have value right now. Do not be afraid to say, I can do this. I am valuable at this. Market it. Say it. Champion it. Boast it with your chest. That is the way we survive in an unstable marketplace. Next up, it was a phenomenal video sent to me by the founder, the original concept of FBA. If you do not know who the great, phenomenal Dr. Claude Anderson is, he has 2 books that I would love all my brothers should read. Number 1, Powernomics. Number 2, Black Labor, White Wealth. He coined the phrase native blacks going to where we were at the beginning. And now, in his advanced age, we have seen it tighten up, get stronger, and the lineage-focused conversation being at the forefront. This is his philosophy that Dr. Claude Anderson spoke about years ago on our Black celebrity class and why we do not help each other as we should. Let's take a listen.
Some black billionaires right now that got all kind of money, discretionary money to spend. They'll go all the way to South Africa, someplace, and set up a girl for schools out in the damn jungle. Now, how is it going to help the masses of black folk to go around into the jungles of South Africa, way off in the desert, and do something for those? Why don't you do something for some of these blacks right here in the United States? If you got $1 billion and you're a billionaire, do something in Chicago for all these black kids that are sleeping on the streets and no money, no food, no clothes. Go to Detroit, Michigan, where right now, 50% of the black kids who start elementary school in Detroit, Michigan today can fail to graduate from high school. And out of the few that 50% do graduate from high school, they're reading at a 5th grade damn level. Do something for them. Why are you gonna run all the way to Africa to take care of them first?
I always wondered that, y'all. I always wondered, and this is just me, y'all. Remember growing up, y'all, I'm telling my age, when Oprah, Bill Cosby, and them used to give out them scholarships all the time. Remember how they always used to go to different countries to do that? Here I was, an American Freedom Town member, poor kid, first generation. Family ain't have no money, but just to give me the clothes that I had. I couldn't get into those scholarships. I couldn't get none of that money. I had to fight tooth and nail just to get the little things that I had. And I remember seeing them people give other ethnicities money. And Jason Black said this it might have been last year to me. And no shade on Bill Cosby, our elder, as a legal times and battles that he's going through. But remember when they gave other people money and offered us scholarships? Y'all remember that? We got to be able to talk about this stuff, family, because we really do not believe in infusing cash in many Black Americans. And Dr. Claude Anderson is 100% correct on that. It is very rarely that we choose to pay for each other up. It is very rarely that mindset that we see is allowed to happen.
For take care of your own. Start at home. And don't use the excuse about, well, I'm a billionaire. Why are you asking me to do it? Because it's your people. That's why I'm asking you. See, right now, because of the maldistribution of resources that came up in the 70s, as I told you, in the 1700s by slavery, where 99% of everything of value was transferred into the white society, into their communities, their schools, their churches, into their businesses. And so consequently, that everything the whites want is in their community. There's nothing in the Black community. It's abandoned.
No, sir. That's Dr. Claude Anderson, brother. Dr. Claude Anderson. You know I wouldn't play small. Dr. Claude Anderson, the great.
Raw and deprived. And consequently, if I were in a given hospital, if you had a Black child born here and a white child born in that same hospital at exactly the same time, you know what would happen then?
What's that?
That means that the white child would have everything he needs at birth, because it's in his community, in his church, in his school, in his family, in his trust account, in his inheritance, in his will. But now the Black kid was born,
come out having to fill out a W-2. It's
That's
crazy.
right.
Immediately.
That's right, because see, in the Black community, things that Black folk have been forced to indulge in and to be pursuing and marching for and demonstrating, as you say, and wearing our shoe leather, you know what they were demonstrating for more public housing.
Many people don't know the story of our lineage of how we got here. Dr. Claude Anderson was the first at the forefront on how politics, money, and economics truly work at our ground level that we come to. The term Native Black is a term that he really discussed and put in the lexicon early on and about strictly the foundation of this country. But what he was saying was 100% right, y'all. The lack of investment in other ways that we have done and been able to do, blocked out, right, is the reason why we see the path that we're currently on. It doesn't mean it's not correctable, but when we talk about it and have uncomfortable conversation, let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth about where we are, where we're heading, where the pitfalls in, and also how to have an uncomfortable conversation and holding people accountable. Because if we don't do it, the issues, the problems, they will continue to linger, man. They will continue to happen. And most importantly, we will need to address it and have it moving forward. Because if you don't address the problems, y'all, they will address you. And I believe you heard me earlier say shout out to Tariq on his phenomenal accomplishment, man. Shout out to brother Tariq Nasheed for making that film series again. But this is a lesson for all brothers out there. All brothers, all men. When you continue to do well and it affects other people, we are cool until your decisions decide to affect me. Shout out to D Baby, my lady today sent me the video where 19 Keys 4 years ago was talking to Tariq Nasheed about the FBA move, energy, and lineage. He was nodding his head in agreement. Why is now he saying a different tune? Before I give my detailed response, I want you to listen to the commentary. Let's pay attention. Share the live. Share the live.
Essentially, a lot of this is centered around foundational Black Americans. That is a lineage-based group who does act like an organization or a movement with a center head, which would be Tariq Nasheed. Now, he says...
Catch that again. I'm going to play it from the beginning. Rewind.
Essentially, a lot of this is centered around foundational Black Americans. That is a lineage-based group who does act like an organization or a movement with a center head.
Did he really say that we act like a lineage-based group with organization? What the hell?
which would be Tariq Nasheed. Now, he says that he is not the head of it. It's a lineage, right? And we are not a group, but he definitely acts like, you know, the leader of the group, if you will. And then
Pay attention.
then there is the way that they treat and talk about Africans. So it's very demeaning.
Pay attention how we treat Africans.
Right? They talk about delineation, right, which is a separation and saying that, look, we are Black Americans. We are not associated with other groups, and we don't want to be grouped and classed in as well. We are, right? We have our rights in America, and we're going to continue to make strides and progress here in this land, which is not a foreign concept, right? When there were schemes to push the...
Then he said the word schemes. Y'all, when people only point out what you do and never how you respond to something, they are being disingenuous. If a brother 19 Keys to get on the public platform to lie, he lied. He lied. There's no way around it. You lied on Brother Tariq. You lied on FBA. You lied on the group concept. You lied on it being a scheme. You also were disingenuous in addressing the elephant in the room. Why is the hostility that is being discussed only on one way? Why do the non-FBAs, the Pan-Africans, never speak about how disrespectful it is when you treat people wrong? You have said blatantly that you are aware of the disrespect that happens towards FBA. You have said blatantly that you acknowledge that there is some friction, but you didn't say by who. You didn't say the history of it. You didn't say you understand why this hostility and energy is this way. You didn't say why, given contextual energy. What you said, FBA bad. It's a lineage, but it's a group. It's this, but Tariq is the leader. I don't like this, and they're demonizing Africans. Not that they are responding. Not that the perspective that many non-FBAs have is a part of the problem. Not that the effects of colonization have affected those that come from the continent in a different way, how it affects us. Not that FBAs have had a Jim Crow. Not that we have had an era where we had to self-segregate and figure it out. None of that. You skip past all of that and simply said, it's your fault. Y'all, that is a disingenuous mother. And when people show you who they are, believe them. Don't go back and forth. Don't argue. Don't debate. Don't have discourse. Nod your head. Watch. See. And never allow them to be around you again. This brother is dangerous. Tariq said y'all broke bread. You were around each other multiple times, around families and their presence, around their children. And to not call the brother and have a discourse about it, but to get on a platform and say it and never address it publicly, you've been having that animosity. You've been feeling some type of way. Remember, y'all, this isn't the first time they were stealing. This is the first time you caught them stealing. This is the first time you disrespected me. This is the first time I heard you disrespected me. You ain't been just start feeling some type of way. You've been feeling some type of way. When you diss me, this ain't the first time that you diss me. You just did it privately. If you got an issue with me, you bring it publicly, you've been had an issue with me. You've been feeling some type of way about me. Now you are just emboldened to say it out loud. But the problem is you misread and misjudged the room, brother. 19 Keys, you've had questionable credibility. I'm not here to condemn you or say what it is. That's for you to figure that out. But for you to say what you said about somebody that you have a film with, that has uplifted you, that has invested in you, brother, as a man, I could never rock with you. I just couldn't. I judge harshly when it comes to stuff like that. Remember, I understand nuances. I understand battles. I understand issues. But for a brother to never say that we didn't address that and he has to address it publicly and you never cleared that up, you ain't got to say nothing else. Like I said in the title today, Pan-Africans, FBAs, non-FBAs are silent about the disrespect and the Ozu festival. They never shut up about FBAs or how they disrespect us, but they are quick to tell you what we do wrong and how we could change the benefits. Today's Live on Wednesday has been special, man, because we are addressing any and everything. Remember, FBAs, it's okay to be talked about. It's okay to have beef. The demi bag must be good. It must be, dog. It must be okay. Let me hear about it. Let's go. The great master teacher. Facts, brother. But as we continue to talk about it today, man, on live on Wednesday, I want y'all to know this, man. We are in a dressing era. We are not letting stuff slide. The disrespect that our children, that we get, that we have to deal with, we are not letting it go like it happened prior. 19 Keys, Ghana, Umar, and others of the ilk. This is the new normal. Don't get mad at me for what I say. Don't get mad at me for making a public microphone. We are re-energized, reorganized, refocused, and most importantly, we have a vision at hand. Reparations, our goals, the anti-Black crime bill are not going anywhere. We are in the first wave of the FBA movement. Not the second, not the third, not the fourth. Just imagine 10 years from now when this evangelized message begins to hit harder and stronger. That's what you have to look forward to. So as much as you remain silent, as much as you criticize us, we're not going to stop. All we're going to continue to do is knock down those barriers and be stronger with us. People don't understand something. Jim Crow made us better. Jim Crow made us stronger. Jim Crow revolutionized how the foundational feels and operates. I know we always refer to Jim Crow as a bad time in this country, man. Thank you, fam. I appreciate it always, man. Always, always. Remember, y'all, people don't think about it that the era that we came from as far as Jim Crow helped us. What do you mean, King Crowder? It taught us that we are alone. It made us focus on our ingenuity, our own personality, our own mental message. Jim Crow did that to us. Jim Crow made me realize that I got to lean on only the FBAs. And that's all we need. What other ethnicities don't understand is that the effects that happened to us made us who we are to this day. So when you disparage us, when you talk bad about us, when you don't uplift us, you only magnify our message. Because you're silent about when we're being disrespected. And when you're silent on how we feel, we know that animosity is there. Tonight's live is a reminding and a victory lap lesson, y'all. FBAs, bow, nod your head, smile. Ghana tried to wide our way. Umar's trying to take our way. 19 Keys is trying to flip our way. What does that mean? The progress is happening. Take that progress, look at your Rolodex, keep on marching. Keep on beating the drum, keep on spreading the message, and most importantly, tap in with your FBA fam no matter what the session is. Tap in with us. Thank y'all for tapping in with me, man. It's your boy, King Crowder. Hey, updates. This Saturday, your boy will be having a diaper shower for my new edition. Another Damn Crowder is on the way, y'all, this Saturday. Also, April 11th, I will be having a mixer for my Black Male Mixer Group in the great state of Houston, Texas. April 11th, we will be having a mixer. May 3rd, we will have a community event, Feed the Block in Houston. In the hood, we're going to be in the trenches. We will have a community day. After that, I'm only going to be a little bit live as far as my events to focus on their family time and to get the new edition on the way. New Crowder should be here this next month. Y'all, wifey is 8 months pregnant. Crazy to say out loud. So crazy. Thank y'all for tapping in with me, man. It's your boy, King Crowder. I am so glad that you tapped in for another edition of 9 on Wendy's. Today's subject was Pan-Africans and Non-FBAs are always silent about our issues, but they didn't speak on Ozoro Fest. But remember, they never shut up about FBAs. We can't stop. We won't stop. And we will not be able to go, man. Sup, y'all, Florida in the building. Shout out to Florida, man. South or North Florida. FDMGM Caddy will never let the first and gentleman. Man, y'all funny tonight, man. I want to thank all of y'all for tapping in with your boy, man. I appreciate you. I love y'all, man. Hey, again, Saturday, Crowder Shouter. Sunday, another edition of Live on Sunday. Your boy will be hot with that hot fire, tapping in with the FBA family. Call your dad. Text your mom, text your wife, text your friend, your girlfriend, your ex, your children. Call them, tell them you love them, because you will not let them know how everything's gonna go this summer. Also, book of the week. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I was supposed to do it early on, y'all. You know, I always give a recommendation for my dogs. Feel the fear and do it every way. It is about a book about overcoming the fear, the obstacles, and the energy you may have to deal with. I love to recommend reading information to people. If you ever have something you're nervous about, a new business venture, a new life venture, a new conversation, learning how to transition your anger, your actions, or have it with love. Feel the fear, have it anyway. Phenomenal read, y'all. Add it to your library. Until next time, take care of yourself. I love you. FBA fam, chap in with me, support me, call me, text me. Until next time. Peace.